PSI. Make sure I look good. We do this right here. We're recording. We're live. So cute. Once again, it's Thursday. So I always have a class starting Thursday, 7 o'clock in the morning. We've been here for a couple hours. For those of you just joining us, thank you. Today we're going to talk about weapon retention. There have been some incidences lately where security officers have been getting disarmed from their own weapon and shot, weapon being stolen, murdered, I mean the whole 9 yards. So to help keep you guys safe, I'd like to show you a couple of different techniques that would help you. It's not something we're going to sit here and practice, so I'm not teaching you any of this, but it's just something that's a visible, give you that visibility, something that's, not visibility, what the hell am I trying to say? You watch it being done and possibly use that to your advantage. So the first thing we want to talk about is your holster. Now, as we all notice that this is a blue gun. Blue guns are training guns. It's just a piece of plastic. Actually, it's injected molded plastic. So we're not playing with real guns here. The holster that I'm carrying right now is a Blade Tech holster. It is not a retention style holster, so it's not authorized for duty carry. We'll walk over here at a camera view for a moment. That is a duty holster. Okay? It completely protects the firearm from the muzzle to the back strap. Completely encases the trigger housing and everything like that. That way you can't get your hand on that firearm at all. This has about 4 or 5 different layers of protection to it. You got the holster in itself, that's 1. 2 is the hood across the top. Protects you from anybody trying to grab the firearm from the front end. The next one is the retention device, which is a push forward hood. That's another one. And then the third, then you got another one that's going to be the thumb release, which is how you release the firearm from inside of here. That's the retention device. And then if you draw, if your cant is wrong, if you're not drawing straight up, it will not release the firearm. It'll get stuck in the holster, prevent it from being pulled out. All right? So that's what a duty holster is. This is more of a concealment holster for the open carry stuff and whatnot. Anyway, what you're running into lately, like I said, is these security officers getting shot and killed with their own weapon because you don't go through that level of training or weapons retention. So what I'd like to show you is a couple of different little things. Now, the way that I was taught was different, where I retain control over my firearm, and then I get into active apprehension of the suspect who attempted to gain control over the firearm. With the new standard, the way things have been going lately, the new 776 standard on it is to immediately break free the grasp, draw, and shoot. Okay? So what we're going to talk about here is your reactionary gap is considered a 21 feet engagement. All right? 7 yards. FBI says that a criminal from a stop position can hit a full sprint and charge you and cover 21 feet by the time it takes you to come out and draw your firearm. So that 21 feet engagement, you should be able to get out, 2-hand eye point, come up on target, and use your force. All right? Your imminent danger zone is the area, if you wouldn't mind standing up real quick, the area, stick your arm straight out in front of you. This is considered your imminent danger zone. Go ahead and drop your arm. This is point blank range. Most deadly situations that are encountered fall in between that imminent danger zone, where we're too close to do anything. So if the suspect at this point was to, let me get you to stand right here on a slight angle here, that way you guys can see this. If the suspect was this close, and you're talking, hands are up here, and he was to go and attack me, so if you were to come into my area here, the only thing that I could do is shoot from this position right here. All right, you're not going to be able to do this. It's impossible. You wind up doing that, I'll take the damn gun from you. Exactly. Right? Redirect the firearm away from you and whoop you up. I'm going to say a bad word there. Wordy dirge. I'm going to wash my mouth out. So anyway, you just need to learn how that engagement is going to work. So what you do is in the middle of that situation, you come back. You're opening up that distance so you can get up to that 2-handed high point, and then you can engage your target. All right? You want to open up your distance, and then once you get to that position, you have that stable brace, you're good to go. then you can re-engage and start walking towards your target. All right? But weapon retention is the big thing. If I'm standing here and I have no retention on the firearm, go ahead and take that. No retention on the firearm. I just gave a suspect who was not armed a weapon, and I'm dead. Okay? You've also armed this person, and innocent lives could be lost because of that. No retention. So now let's say that there was a retention on this device. So he went to go grab it, but while he goes to grab it, it's stuck in the holster. He has to release the retention on there. Whether it's a thumb brake, whether it's a little push button like the Blackhawks, or another little thumb piece like the Safari Lance. So learning your retention devices or having a retention device in your holster is very important. Now the other thing you talk about is your muscle memory. Getting used to that natural draw motion, knowing where your holster is. And I've seen people time and time again come out, have to fumble with the retention release. Once they come up on point, they do their shooting, and they're doing this, looking for their holster. So you want to get to that muscle memory point where you come out, boom, boom, and you're right into your holster again. You know exactly where everything is. Now, the weapon retention pieces that I was telling you about before. Suspect comes in from behind you, goes to grab the firearm, go ahead and do so. Lock the hand into the side. As soon as they go to pull that, you'll feel the pull on the retention device. Lock your hand into the side. You're going to rotate your body away from the suspect. So don't do this and pull them into you. Now we're hugging each other. You grab it and you open them up, and you're able to break free of that grasp. If they still want to hold on to it, come down on top of the forearm with your fist and break that down, and come back up here, shoot, 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 and engage. Okay? From the front end, same thing. The suspect was to go for the firearm. You lock the firearm in, open them up. Now, the old DT standard was, now that he's off balance, he's opened up, I'm going to push him to the ground. You know, down, 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 down. The new thing is while he has control over that firearm, I come up, I break down that thing, boom, 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 boom. That's the new standard. That's how CJSTC is starting to train their officers, is to immediately engage and shoot to kill. Now, I'm not going to sit here and argue with the finer points about it, but the way that I was told, if the suspect didn't gain control of the firearm, what threat to your life does he have? Okay? Now, did he just try to take your gun? Well, yeah, so obviously he wants to do harm to you. I don't know if that would really justify you shooting and killing somebody, though. So take that with a grain of salt. And just remember, there is a lawyer behind every bullet. All right? You shoot somebody, you bet your butt, okay, maybe the shooting's justified. But civilly, you just cause permanent damage to someone. So you're out, you're criminally found, good to go, you didn't do anything wrong. Family comes after you and say, hey, I'm suing you for my medical expenses, or I'm suing you for the loss of a loved one. If you don't have insurance, you don't have a lawyer, you're going to have to get a lawyer. You're going to have to start getting money somehow to pay for this lawyer, because they're not going to do it pro bono. They're not getting anything out of it. Now, I joined U.S. Law Shield. That gives me protection against that for both criminal and civil. They also will answer any firearm-related questions that I have. They'll protect me in almost all 50 states. Okay, if I use my weapon, even if I just sit here and hold somebody at gunpoint because they tried to do something wrong, and now all they see is that I've got a gun on somebody, and I get hooked up for it. It's not, I didn't shoot to kill anybody, but I did throw my weapon. So any firearm or weapon-related incident, they'll back you up on as long as you're justified. As long as you did the right thing, you're good to go. They'll back you up. They'll also work on getting your gun back. Not that I really like the sumbitch, but George Zimmerman here just got his gun back a couple of months ago. His incident took place, I believe, in 2012, and it's 2016, so 4 years later is how long it had taken him to get his gun back. The agency that I work with will actually get on the bandwagon and say, hey, look, you've been cleared of any and all wrongdoing. It's time to get the man's gun back. Vicarious liability, where they have liability for your actions while you're on post. They hired you, they're responsible for you. It's vicarious liability. It's an indirect responsibility. So they're going to cover themselves. If you're named individually in the suit, you're on your own. All right? So weapon retention is an important thing. Like I said, a lot of guys are getting hurt with that. The disarming and everything like that, which now we'll get into a little bit of play guns with the play guns. Come on up here. All right, make sure your finger's not in the trigger. So somebody's pointing a firearm at you. Now let's go ahead and do it sideways so this camera can see it. All right, so somebody's pointing a firearm at you, and you've got a little distance between you. They want your money or your life. Well, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna give it up.
I'm giving up. So I'm gonna give them my wallet. I'm not gonna go like this. Here you go. I'm gonna take this. Oh, you want it? And I'm gonna throw it away.
So I can,
Good distance away. That way, when you start to go for it, I'm getting away too. Me and my family are getting away safe. Or, as soon as you break concentration, I'm immediately coming out, boom, 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 dropping you myself. Save the taxpayers some money. And I got law shields, so you know what I mean? As long as I'm not criminal or criminally negligent, I'm good to go. Now let's say we have this a little bit more closer to home. Okay? Now if you're comfortable with it, instead of giving up if you want to, or if you don't want to, your hands come up. It looks like you're giving up, right? So once your hands are up here, you bring your hands even to where the firearm will be. And when you have your opportunity, when the armed suspect becomes distracted, that's when you can act. Now there's a few different things that you can do. One of the ones that gentleman back here, top first sergeant said here is, you come in and you're doing this with the gun. All right, it's a quick way of stripping the firearm. That works too. Same thing we do with knives, except with knives you just come in and hit this as hard as you can, and the knife goes flying in that direction. It's practical. It does work. But what I would always recommend doing is when your hands come up, if you want to control the situation entirely, all right, and we'll show you what action versus reaction is in a moment. You come across, grab the breech, pushing the gun towards the ground, and rotating your body out of the way. All right, so you twist it. They're going to get one shot off, But that action versus reaction, he has to react to my actions, and I'll show you how that works out. So you're coming in, stepping in, using that forearm and elbow into your advantage and stripping the firearm away. Yes, my back is to the suspect. But once you take the gun out, if I'm able to get away, I'm going to rack this slide and come back up on point, boom, boom, boom. All right, people have asked me before, well, what happens if that round goes into somebody behind you? Okay, what's your point? Well, you may just hurt somebody. Okay, what's your point? I get it.
yeah.
Somebody may get hurt. You may get hurt. But who's going to be alive? Would one person get hurt? If I'm in a classroom full of 30 people, I engage an active shooter in that situation. One person gets wounded, but I save 28, 29 other people, and one person just gets wounded. Hey, I call that a win in my book.
Yeah.
If I catch a round through my forearm, leg, or something like that, and it doesn't catch anything vital, and I still disarm the suspect, save the taxpayers some money and put a couple of rounds in them too, hey, I call that a win in my book as well. All right, one of the other practical things is having a firearm pointed into the small of your back or in the middle of your back. Nobody likes to feel the cold steel in the morning. And you're looking for that gun. All right, one of the things I forgot to tell you too is when we do this, get it in his right hand, I'm going to push it away from the body. If you wind up doing it where you're coming across, you're coming across your entire body, so you got a whole bunch of room there to pull that trigger. The other thing is as I'm redirecting the firearm and opening myself up, the shooter has his left hand available and is able to grab that firearm in transition. So you want to make sure that when you do everything, you're coming across and in, okay? So in the middle of the back, this is where that you got to be quick thing comes in, because if you do this, going in towards the opposite hand, like I just showed you a moment ago, he can transition to that other hand. So you're looking. Hands come up to about where the gun's at. You're looking. You're trying to figure out what hand it's in. Once you have that opportunity, coming in and coming up underneath and get rid of the gun. All right. They will get one shot off. All right. So chasing that firearm around, that close quarter stuff, could wind up saving your life one day. All right. And this is practical. This does work. This isn't some John Woo Kung Fu crap. This will actually help you. All right. So if you practice it, there's a couple of Spetsnaz guys that do this. It's pretty cool the way they redirect weapons and knives down. So real quick, I'm gonna show you that action versus reaction. See if I've got, yeah, I wish I had $100 bill. Actually,
Good job, grab it. Straight up.
what the hell, anybody hear them crickets going?
See the dust? I just see the little dust. Have you ever
I'm-
done that?
I'm married, so you know I don't have money. So, we'll go with a quick business card here. Would you come on up over here, more than welcome to take your seat. Honestly, I'm gonna have to have you zoom in, you don't wanna sit down right there. Now, it's kind of a bar trick, but it also works. You hear it pretty quick. Yeah, he looks pretty good.
I've done this before.
All right, so you know how this works, and this is called action versus reaction. Go ahead and place your hand over top of that, act like it's a nice, wonderful $100 bill. You can get a little closer, I'm not afraid of that. So
Sure.
what we do is we practice here. He's gonna have to
Move
go for that, right? So you move after I move, all right? So we're gonna practice real quick. Thought you were gonna go. Thought you were fast.
You said it was practice.
Yeah, practice, ready, so we go, and he goes down for it. Now, we got the practice out of the way. He's gonna go for it when he moves, so this is action versus reaction. He is going to react to my actions. Even if you're faster, we do it, you're full speed here.
Okay.
Alright, you have to wait, so that's where that action versus reaction comes in. Alright, it's gonna take you a split second longer to figure out what's going on and react to what I've just done. So, same idea and concept happens when you are engaging that target. To wait for your opportunity. Once they're slightly distracted enough, you make your move, and once you've made your move, they're like, oh my god, something bad's happening. Even though I'm the bad guy, hey, something's bad happening to the bad guy. Win. So, that's your practical application portion of it. I'm Mike, I'm not a resident badass. I can't fight to save my life, I'm not gonna lie. But I will defend myself and the lives of anybody else, all right? Anybody here with me right now? I believe that everybody here has the right to live free of oppression and tyranny. All right, practice whatever religion you want to. If you want to run naked down the middle of Main Street, hey, look, that's your prerogative. You have a right to do so. As long as there's no little kids around. You good? 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 You guys are allowed around kids, right? Nobody's at the bar? Okay, good. Thought I saw a van outside that said free candy and spray paint outside. Yeah, you never know, huh? Good morning.
Pokemon inside.
Pokemon, yeah, I got a Pokemon inside my van.
Free Pokemon.
Remind me to show you my my Pokemon memes. A couple guys playing Pokemon. So anyway, that's a practical response to a few different things. I hope it helped you out a little bit. Oh, and one of the other things I wanted to tell you, I was telling you guys earlier, Chief, could you come back up one more time for me, please? Telling you to keep your hands up above your waistline. All right. Never do this. Go ahead and grab me from behind, sir. That's my stomach. No, wrap me up. Wrap my arms up. With that, the way that I'm wrapped up, I have no way to release myself. So I'm pretty much done. Even if I was to drop my whole weight, I still have to try to break the grip, which is impossible. So when I say that you keep your arms like this, you'll have that ability to drop all of your weight, throw your arms back, hips forward, and then into it at the same time. So I'm going to hit him in the groin. Tell you what, with my bony, it ain't like no lap. I tell you what, that'll be the last time you ever think we're getting a lap dance from a skinny person. So. All right, so just remember, keep your hands up above your waist. That way you can react and respond to different threats and situations. Because if somebody wants to wrap you up from behind, you're going to do it. If your hands are in your pocket, they're going to get locked in that side. So just be careful with that, all right? Now, real quick, finish up, wrap up here. Come visit us on the web, Professional Security Institute. It's going to be PSI, FortMyers.com. Doesn't matter how you spell Fort Myers. We got it both ways, FT and FORT. Take a look at our gun shop out here, Tactical Weapons, the Gun Negotiator. All right, we're on Facebook as well. We're on the web, gunnegotiator.com. If you're interested in it, we also have a security company now. It's PSIFL.com. All right, all lowercase, whatever, doesn't matter. So PSIFL.com. You get to see my lovely face. And follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Professional Security Institute. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, and I'll leave the other two things out of that. Give us a call, 239-936-7044. That's gonna be the main line, goes directly to me. If you have any firearm related questions, it's gonna be 239-936-9950 for tactical weapons. Once again, Jesse with the extractor tool is looking for votes. We've got what's that called? We got another 1 million cups. We were the finalist in that, so now we're getting it down to the last 5. We were within the top 10. So now we're going to try to get into the top 5 and win some money so we can get this wonderful project rocking and rolling. What's that? The extractor.us. All right. Check us out on there. Like us on Facebook. Let's get this social media going. All right. And for the love of God, everybody, please. I'm Mike with PSI. Stay informed. Okay.